This is ARIS-10, a 10.5 GHz phased array radar system built for researchers and drone developers. It uses pulse linear frequency modulation and runs two versions, 3 km and 20 km range, with fully open source hardware and software. The system handles beamforming, Doppler processing, and target tracking, all while keeping costs low enough for serious hobbyists to experiment with radar tech in their own labs. This is Crucix, a self-hosted intelligence terminal that pulls 27 open source feeds, flight tracking, fire detection, sanctions lists, and more, every 15 minutes into a single dashboard. It auto-refreshes live data, lets you hook up Telegram or Discord for alerts, and even adds an optional LLM layer for two-way questioning. The whole thing runs locally with Docker, no cloud required, and the public demo at crucix.live shows exactly what you'd get running it yourself. This is Build Your Own X, a collection of step-by-step guides for recreating real technologies from scratch, like Kafka, ray tracing, or even a Wolfenstein 3D engine. Each tutorial walks you through the core mechanics, from memory allocation to rendering pipelines, using just a few hundred lines of code. The idea is simple. If you can't build it, you don't truly understand it. This is Impeccable, a design skill that trains AI to avoid cliches like purple gradients and nested cards. It builds on Anthropic's front-end design skill with 20 commands, like audit, polish, and distill, plus curated anti-patterns that explicitly tell the AI what not to do. The skill includes 7 domain-specific reference files for typography, color, and layout, so you can drop it into Claude or other LLMs and get designs that actually feel intentional. This is UI/UX Pro Max, an AI skill that generates professional design systems for multiple platforms. It runs on 161 industry-specific reasoning rules and 67 UI styles, then outputs full design tokens, components, and documentation. The CLI handles everything from auto-activation to persistent design systems with a master override patterns, so you can build consistent interfaces without starting from scratch every time. This is dimos, an agentic operating system for robots that lets you control humanoids, quadrupeds, and drones with natural language. It skips ROS entirely, using Python to handle perception, navigation, and spatial memory, then ties it all to hardware, like Unitree's quadrupeds or Boston Dynamics style arms. The CLI and MCP framework let you spin up multi-agent systems that work with cameras, LiDAR, and actuators, while blueprints make it easier to prototype real-world interactions without reinventing the stack. This is Hindsight, an agent memory system that actually learns, instead of just storing chat history. It replaces RAG and knowledge graphs with a 3-step process: retain, recall, reflect, using vector embeddings and a PostgreSQL backend. The demo shows it handling long-term memory tasks better than alternatives, and the Python client lets you embed it directly in your app without a server. This is Recordly, a free open-source alternative to Screen Studio that adds auto-zoom, cursor animations, and smart motion effects to your screen recordings. It builds on OpenScreen with native Mac OS or Windows recording, cursor loops, and frame-by-frame editing, all while keeping the polished output you'd expect from a pro tool. The demo shows how it handles smooth transitions and cursor effects without sacrificing performance, though Mac OS users may need to sign the app manually first. This is GitNexus, a browser-based code intelligence engine that turns your repo into an interactive knowledge graph with a built-in graph RAG agent. Drop in a GitHub repo or zip file, and it maps every relationship, functions, classes, dependencies, so you can ask questions like, what changes if I modify this API, or show me all files using this utility. The agent doesn't just search, it traces impact across the entire code base, no server needed. This is claude-hud, a plugin that keeps track of what's actually happening in your Claude code session. It shows context usage, active tools, running agents, and to-do progress in a persistent status bar below your input. The default view gives you project path and context health, while optional lines let you toggle things like token counts or agent statuses with a simple command. This is PageAgent, a JavaScript library that lets you control any web interface with natural language commands. It runs entirely in the browser, parsing text prompts to interact with buttons, inputs, and dropdowns. No backend needed. The demo shows it handling complex workflows like form filling or navigation, and the one-line integration just requires a script tag. It even includes a fallback for unsupported elements, though some edge cases might need manual overrides. This is deepagents, a pre-built framework for running complex agent workflows with LangChain and LangGraph. It comes with built-in planning tools, file system access, and the ability to spawn sub-agents, so you can chain together multi-step tasks like research, analysis, or automation without writing boilerplate. The CLI handles setup, and the docs walk through customizing everything from memory to tool integrations, though the real power comes from how it manages agent hierarchies and error recovery out of the box. Subscribe to Build Things with AI for more vibe coding ideas and news.